Hi, I'm Shan. Today I just wanted to share kind of 5 tips or techniques of things that might help you calm down or help you de-stress. These are just like little things that might support anything else that you're already doing. So, stuff around talking to people, any kind of well-being health practices, taking medication, all of those things. It's just like a little bit extra to support what else is existing in your life. I'd really like to know what you think of these or what you do as well to help you kind of de-stress. And I'd say like all of these are kind of inspired from or influenced by yoga techniques, by ancient yoga techniques from India as well. So the first one that I want to talk about was deep breaths. And I think this is like a little bit of an obvious one, but it does actually work. So we know from like yoga practices that there's so much emphasis on breathing or on pranayama or on breath work. So we know that it works kind of from there, but there's also kind of lots of sort of scientific stuff that also tells us about why deep breathing is calming. And really it's just that thing of almost like tricking the body to think that you're safe. So in that thing where, in that moment where you're really stressed and the breath starts to really quicken, you're just like breathing slower and deeper, and it sort of signifies to your brain that you're safe, and then you start to feel kind of calmer. So pretty much any breathing practice is a calming practice, to just bringing the attention to the breath. I mean, there's some yoga breathing practices which are more about heating the body or bringing more energy in, but the majority of them I'd say are calming. But the one that I notice that I use the most, like if I'm driving and I'm really late or stuff like that, I do notice that I will just count the breath. So I just thought I'd mention that one, but you might just find any breathing practice that works for you. So just like inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6 or something like that. That's what I often do and often share when I'm kind of teaching yoga as well. So I thought we could just try that one just for a few breaths. If we just sit there and start to deepen the breath. And then when you feel ready, we can start to count the breath as well. So we're inhaling for a count of 4. Then we're exhaling for a count of 6. Inhaling for 4. And then exhaling for 6. And we can just keep doing that for a few rounds. Or you can kind of deepen it, so you can change the count to 6 and 8. And see how that feels. So something that's in your kind of comfortable range. If we just take 2 more rounds, inhaling for the count of 4 or 6. Exhaling for 6 or 8. And just doing it one more time. And just see how that feels. Number 2 is butterfly hugs. I did come across this on TikTok actually, and I found this one instantly kind of calming. I feel like it's that thing of doing of linking the left and the right side of the body, which comes up a lot in yoga, and you often find it in that kind of rotation of consciousness, which I've done a video of, which I will link. So it's like that bilateral stimulation that lots of kind of yoga meditation practices have. But this particular butterfly hug was developed by Luciana Artigas and Ignacio Guerrero, and they taught it to survivors of Hurricane Pauline in Mexico in 1998. So it's really simple. We're just bringing the arms across the body, and we're just patting with alternate hands. And I kind of find it instantly calming. So see how that feels. The butterfly part of it as well is that you could interlace the thumb, so it's a bit more butterfly, and then do it that way. Or you could also give yourself a hug and do it that way. There's lots of practices as well, just those kind of, movement will shake out the stress. I think this is just like really accessible, isn't it, that anyone pretty much could do it, and you don't need space for it. So that's number 2, butterfly hugs. Number 3 is smells. Yeah, I love lighting a candle, or if I'm doing a yoga practice or meditation practice, I also like lighting incense as well. I really like these incenses, so big fan of Nag Champa. We've also got Good Vibes, Himalayan Jasmine, Sacred Ritual, Silver Spirit, that's a good one. So, using incense. I know that, incense can be quite smoky, so like essential oils and that kind of diffuser is really lovely as well. And just those smells are kind of calming and sort of grounding. For me as well, they kind of set the scene to something, so they're kind of making something like a little bit sacred as well. So yeah, let me know what's your favourite way of using kind of smells in your kind of calming practice. Number 4 would be stimulating the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve, which you might have come across, is this 10th cranial nerve that extends from the brain, and it goes throughout the cervical spine, heart, lungs and gastrointestinal system. So it's the longest cranial nerve, and it impacts everything in the body. So that thing of like, if you're stressed and it's really affecting your digestion, that's kind of linked in with this vagus nerve as well. So it controls the parasympathetic nervous system, so that kind of rest and digest that we're trying to stimulate with our deep breathing as well. So for stimulating the vagus nerve, there are kind of like little machines you can use as well, but just those things that you can kind of do for free and at home. It's kind of all the practice we've talked about. So the kind of the deep breaths and the smells and the those butterfly hugs are all simulating the vagus system, but also things, yoga, sound, so kind of singing or humming. I really like that bee breath that you sometimes do in yoga, where you're, so, when you do Om in yoga, but you could do bee breath where you're kind of just humming, which just goes, You could try that. Other things like vagus nerve stimulating would just be to maybe just drink something or eat something. I really, it's that kind of thing of just like when someone, traditionally in the UK, if someone's a bit stressed and you're like, do you have a cup of tea? That is simulating the vagus system. But also covering yourself in a blanket, or someone else covering you in a blanket, or those weighted blankets, all of those things. So kind of all of these different techniques, a hot bath, ice, those kind of ice baths where people are putting their face in ice. All of these things will stimulate the vagus nerve. And then number 5, I want to return back to a breathing practice to finish, which is Nadi Shodhana, and that is alternate nostril breathing. And this is kind of bringing balance to the body. So it's that sort of left, right of the body, a bit like the butterfly hugs. So I thought we could just do this Nadi Shodhana pranayama for a moment. So it's the alternate nostril breathing. We're just breathing in and out of one nostril and then in and out of the other nostril. But you can use the hand. If you're kind of advanced, or not even advanced, but you don't actually need to use the hand, you could just kind of concentrate on inhaling and exhaling out of one nostril, then inhaling and exhaling out the other nostril. Or you could use the hand where you're kind of blocking the nose. So you're going to take your right hand, the thumb can come, I don't know if it works with glasses, I'll take them off. The thumb can come to the top of the nose on the right side. We can put the first 2 fingers on the forehead. This also kind of stimulates that calmingness as well. And then the ring finger will be blocking the left nostril, and then the left finger, I guess you can kind of bring to the face, or you can kind of tuck in. The left finger's not doing anything. The little finger, isn't doing anything. So we're bringing the thumb to the top right nostril, the 4th fingers to the top left, the first 2 fingers to the forehead. Then we can lift that 4th finger, and we're going to inhale and exhale out of the left nostril. Then we're blocking the left nostril, lifting the thumb, and then we're inhaling and exhaling through the right nostril. And then we're just continuing to do that. So I'm going to take a few rounds, and you could have a go as well. we just take a couple more. And then release. I mean, ideally you want to go like a little bit longer than that, but they're just like things to share, and you can try them for a little bit longer afterwards. I'd really love to know what you think. Please let me know. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope everything's okay with you, and I'll see you next week.